evening and welcome to the Arran EcoSavvy Sustainable Island Life Awards Night. My name is Jude and I'm the project manager for the Sustainable Island Life project, funded by the Scottish Government's Climate Challenge Fund and supported by you, the Arran community and wider Arran supporters. We are going to take a look back at what the project has achieved, and we are going to most importantly acknowledge the people who made that happen. We would obviously love to have been doing this in person, but until we can do that, our virtual offering will have to suffice, and we very much look forward to being with you again as soon as we can. The Sustainable Island Life project started from the need for increased community climate action and more information around what we can do here as individual islanders to make a change, whether that be buying more local food, installing renewables, using an e-bike instead of a car. There are so many things that we can do, and we are so pleased that you have embraced our information and activities over the 2 years that we've delivered the project, and saved a huge amount of carbon as the end and ultimate result. We have saved a massive 827 tons of CO2 through this project. I know that probably doesn't mean much, and I find it really hard to picture a carbon ton, but that is the same as 10 million bananas being produced, shipped and sold. It's the same as driving around the world 234 times or around Arran 11,000 times. And it's the same as 7,000 flights from Glasgow to Amsterdam. Of course, if you're going from Arran, it's not including the ferry journey. So I think if we look back at the year that we've had, it seems very much of an understatement to say that it's been a bit of a roller coaster and a challenging year, from dealing with the COVID crisis to worrying about the climate crisis, then feeling a little bit of hope that things will change, and then worrying again, and it just being a really similar circle. But we are here tonight to tell you that you've made a huge difference, and thank you for everything that you have done to support what we do and to support sustainable living here on Arran, because the impacts are not only felt by you, they're felt by the wider world, people that you will never meet that are already experiencing the devastating impacts of climate change. So thank you all. Tonight you're going to be hearing from all of our team members. We have 5 different strands, and Val is going to kick things off. Val is our lovely shop manager and volunteer and workshop coordinator, and will be announcing awards in those categories. Charlotte, our fantastic energy and water advisor, is going to follow Val with energy and water awards. We're actually really lucky to have Charlotte with us here tonight, because she was actually meant to go traveling a year ago and had to trade in Fiji for Sustainable Island Life. So if you have received advice from Charlotte over the last year, we've been lucky to do so. Following that, our brilliant food coordinator Jess will be sharing the food awards, and I'll be really surprised if you're tuning in tonight and you haven't heard from Jess, because she's pretty determined to get the sustainable food information across, whether that be through food growing podcasts to most recently the first Arran online farmers market. Emma, our brilliant savvy travel coordinator, is going to be announcing the travel awards. Emma's been really busy in the last weeks developing and finalising the first Arran Green Transport Map. She's also developed a lift share network and an e-bike charge point network for Arran. I'd also like to mention that since the beginning of the project to January this year, Andrew Binney was our e-bike coordinator and handed that over to Wally Wheel Cycle Repairs recently, and I'd like to thank them both for their fantastic contributions to the project. Last but not least, there is Ruth, who is our project coordinator and climate literacy trainer. Ruth has been a particular champion of the very popular Savvy Film Club that we've delivered through 2020 and into this year as well. Ruth is also an amazing baker, and you will know that if you've attended our physical events. So as I hand you over to the fantastic team who have delivered the project, I want us all to give a virtual clap to all those that have been involved, and for us to also realise that behind all of this there is an amazing board who gives so much of their voluntary time to make all of this happen through Arran EcoSavvy. So Helen, Hilary, Elsa, Esther, Pauline, Donald and Patricia, thank you so much for what you do, for being there for us throughout all of this. And we hope you enjoy the awards as well. I hope you are set with a wee tipple and some goodies to enjoy the show. Please comment in the comment section of this live stream. Ask us any questions. Nominate your local climate hero if you wish. We really look forward to engaging with you tonight. And I will hand you over to the team now. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I am very pleased to be with you tonight and so excited to celebrate our wonderful shop and all our fabulous volunteers. EcoSavvy would not exist without the incredible amount of time and effort put in by our volunteers. They not only run our shop in Whiting Bay, but have been involved in every side of our Sustainable Island Life project. We're so lucky to have such a fantastic team of people all working together to increase environmental sustainability. We all have a great time together socially as well. We are all very fond of coffee, cake and a good old blether, whether that's in person or online, as it's unfortunately had to be over the last year. We cannot thank our volunteers enough for their kindness and hard work. So everyone here at EcoSavvy thought it was really important to take time to recognise and celebrate everyone's achievements. All our volunteers are just amazing and very, very much appreciated. But we do have some special awards to give out tonight. First up is our Helping Hero Award. The nominees in this category are Karen Wilson Costa, Patrick Scott, Ina Burke and Jill Gregory. All are fantastic members of the shop team. But the award is going to someone who does not one but 2 shifts a week in the shop and more if need be as well. This person has also helped set up our Christmas shop and has assisted at our Big Green Primary School event as well. They always provide a really warm and friendly welcome to all their customers and goes above and beyond to help everybody. So the Helping Hero Award goes to Ina Burke. Thank you so much for everything, Ina. Next up is the Savvy Superstar Award, and the nominees in this category are Laura Stevenson, Tony Spencer, Iris Russell, Pam Springthorpe and Rebecca Lacey. All of the nominees are absolute stars and are amazing in the shop, finding time for EcoSavvy around work and family life. They help sell stock online from the shop and create window displays, etc. But the award is going to someone who's been such a fantastic support to me, taking on extra responsibilities such as arranging the shop rotas, donation drop-off appointments, selling online and so on. So the award goes to Rebecca Lacey. Thank you for everything, Rebecca. Our next award, the COVID Champion Award, will hopefully only be given out this year. There's been such an amazing amount of work carried out by volunteers up and down the country during the pandemic. And at EcoSavvy, we really wanted to honour one of our volunteers who jumped into action at the end of March last year to set up the We Can Sew It face mask making group. Barb Taub put together a fantastic team of sewers and delivery drivers to make and distribute face masks to anyone on the island who wanted one. Over 1,800 masks were made, which is just absolutely staggering, and I know that they've been muchly appreciated by many within our community. So we'd like to award the COVID Champion Award to Barb and just thank you for everything you did. It was just absolutely brilliant and such a mammoth undertaking as well. The next award is the Eco Excellence Award. We don't actually have a shortlist for this one, as it could only really be given to one person. Elizabeth Arnott has been with EcoSavvy from the start, and the shop really could not run without her. She is skilled in every side of shop work, from window displays to picking out potential valuables. She's also run a successful stall at the Makers Festival and puts an enormous amount of work into the Christmas pop-up shop each year. Elizabeth always goes above and beyond for EcoSavvy, for all our customers and for all our volunteers, and for me as well. She helps me so much, and I just really can't think of a more deserving person. So thank you, Elizabeth. And the last award is the Outstanding Contribution Award. Again, this could be awarded to many people, but here I thought it was important to focus on our trustees who put in an extraordinary amount of work. The charity would not survive or be where it is today if not for the trustees' dedication and vision. So we'd like to thank each and every one of our trustees: Hilary Maguire, Helen Ross, Esther Brown, Donald McNichol, Elsa Rodeck and Pauline Robinson, as well as our newest trustee, Patricia Templeton.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us this evening. I've found the last 2 years I've spent as an Energy and Water Advisor a really rewarding and positive experience. It has been great to witness how open the community is to learn about all the different aspects of energy efficiency and just how motivated people have been to make changes in their home, no matter how small or large. In 2019 we hosted several energy workshops which you may remember due to our charismatic guest speakers such as Tanya from Glaze and Save and Marty from Solar and Wind Applications. I also visited 110 households from all over the island, and I would just like to thank everyone who booked a home energy visit and welcomed me into your home. 2020 wasn't without its challenges, but it allowed us to take different approaches. We shared a lot of our resources on our social media, and we reached a wider audience by collaborating with other Climate Challenge funded groups around Scotland. I worked with Sustainable Selkirk to assist them in starting their local project and shared the knowledge that EcoSavvy had picked up from offering home energy advice since 2018. Last summer we had the exciting opportunity to team up with Scottish Water and Home Energy Scotland. This enabled us to provide water advice and water saving device packs to 215 Arran households. So to launch this water campaign, we recruited 4 unsuspecting Arran residents from different villages who generously gave up their time to be local water ambassadors. They were each sent their water saving device packs and then filmed themselves showing how they used one of their gadgets in their own house. So I'd like to thank all our nominees who got creative with their videos. Thanks to Sarah Blair with her garden hose attachment, Paula Maguire with her universal sink plug, and Mark Bunyan with his tap aerator. The winner of the Water Saving Champion Award is Tom, Emma and the Jessup family from Balnichal. Their video explaining the benefits of the shower timer and regulated shower head included the whole family and even featured some cheeky alpacas in the background. During homeschooling, Tom and Emma had also been teaching their children about the importance of water saving, which is why they are well-deserving water saving champions. So this next award is to celebrate the most proactive among us. We all know how easy it is to mean to do something around the house but never quite get round to it, and this is particularly relatable with energy efficiency improvements, whether it's draft proofing, switching supply, or sticking reflector foil behind your radiators. So thanks to the nominees for Proactive Energy Champion, who were Joe Wise, Lois Bell and Joe Bryce. All of them got in touch with various questions and they all took on board the advice I offered as soon as they could, which made my job really rewarding. I would like to congratulate our winner ever, and that is Moira Ransley. Moira was keen to receive a home energy visit, but due to lockdown, all our communication has been via email. She wins this award as she'd only recently moved into her new home at the start of 2021. She proactively got in touch for advice on how to reduce her expensive energy bills, and she provided detailed information so that she could receive a personalised energy action plan. Moira is currently trying out one of her personal energy monitors through a loan scheme and has already switched to a greener and cheaper supplier. Improving insulation is her next step, so well done Moira, I could certainly take a leaf out of your book. Next up is our Renewables Champion Award, which is to commend the household with a large scale or multiple renewable projects planned. Any progress towards home renewables is an achievement in itself. However, 37 air source heat pump installs taking place after advice over the last 2 years, there are simply too many people to name. A special mention goes to our nominees Paul and Lucy Kay and Jules and Carol Lee, who are continuously trying to reduce their domestic carbon from energy and who sought ongoing advice in terms of renewables and the steps required before installation. This is a very close call, but our Renewables Champion winners are Steve and Debbie Merritt. Steve and Debbie have supported and engaged with EcoSavvy from the moment they moved to the island in 2019. They initially popped into one of our energy drop-in surgeries and from then on have attended several of our in-person events. Currently, they are enjoying the comfortable and consistent heat from their new air source heat pump and are now progressing with solar panels and potentially a battery storage system. This will mean they will be using renewable energy for heating, hot water and electricity all year round. So congratulations on this really impressive feat, Steve and Debbie. Finally, our energy usage data champion. We only had one clear winner and that was Douglas McInnes, so big congratulations to Douglas. As part of how we collect carbon savings from domestic energy, we record meter readings, so we get 2 historical readings as a baseline, one at the initial contact with myself and one a few months down the line once any behavioural or physical measures have been implemented. So Douglas not only provided these 4 readings, he went out of his way to email me copies of many of his bills explaining what he'd previously tried and when. It really helped me to understand the full picture, which has been a pretty big challenge when not being able to visit properties in person. The information he gave me a much better insight into what the main uses of his energy were, and it highlighted the differences between the seasons, which enabled me to pinpoint areas that could be improved. So thank you very much, Douglas. So that concludes our Energy and Water Awards. I'm so grateful to everyone who has been involved with this side of the project, and I'll now pass you over to the lovely Jess, our Sustainable Food Coordinator. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Working as a food coordinator on Sustainable Island Life for the past 2 years, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been inspiring to work with so many food conscious people in the Aran community, all seeking to better understand our food choices and the impact they make on the climate. We've run many workshops, initially in person and more recently online, holding cooking demonstrations and competitions, as well as many food programs for the community to take part in. These activities have explored themes such as food packaging, waste, seasonality, local produce, food miles, and the relationship between diet and climate change. Through the project activities, the Aran community has reduced its carbon footprint and saved on food shopping costs. I'm so grateful to everyone who's been involved with the food strand. It's been a pleasure learning with you and having you attend our events. Also, a massive thank you has to go to our amazing network of volunteers who have made the Food Share scheme possible. Just to give a little background for anyone who doesn't know about the scheme, the Food Share has been running since November 2018 in collaboration with the co-op supermarkets on the island. Now, volunteers would collect the orange label short life food from the supermarkets and take this back to villages across the island to be distributed within the community. The scheme grew from collections on 2 nights per week to collecting 5 times per week for 7 villages. There have been over 50 volunteers involved in the food share who have helped prevent food waste and to ensure that the short-life food doesn't end up in landfill. In year 1 of the project, there were so many incredible folk who gave their time to volunteer for the food share, and I'd like to mention a few that were nominated for the award. Emma Gearing Campbell, Jo Colin Totty, Alice Maxwell, Russell Adam and Esther Brown, who all took on a vast number of food share events. Thank you so much for your dedication to the scheme. The winner of the Year 1 Food Share Star Award goes to Gregor McKelvey, who ran the Brodick Food Share for the first year, taking on more than 35 weekly collections and diverting over a tonne of food from landfill. Gregor was recognised as a climate hero for this great achievement at the Climate Challenge Fund gathering in 2019, and we want to thank him again for his outstanding contribution to the food share. With the expansion of the food share, we saw a great many new volunteers, many of whom made fantastic contributions to the scheme and its establishment in other villages on the island. We'd like to give a special mention to all of our nominees for the Year 2 Food Share Star Award: Paula Maguire, Donna Gold, Chris Atkins, Ethne Campbell-Cummings and Ellen McMaster. Thank you all for your outstanding work. With the introduction of COVID restrictions last year, we had to suspend the food share in its collect and distribute format. After discussions with the co-op management, we moved the food share in-store at the Big Co in Brodick and the Lamlash Co-op as well. Now, since last March, co-op staff have worked to ensure that the food share continues to run with food that was otherwise destined for landfill, and making it available every day at 8:15 p.m. in the food share fridges and the freezer provided at the Big Co. So our Food Share Star Award for Year 2 therefore goes to the fantastic co-op staff who have allowed the scheme to continue. Thank you so much for your support. Without you, the food share could not have happened. Just have to say, choosing people for these awards was tough, as everyone who's given their time to the food share is so greatly appreciated. You've helped divert over 27 tonnes from landfill. A big thank you also has to go to the Arran community who have, by collecting the food from food share, reduced our collective carbon footprint. The next category in our awards is our Waste Way Champions. Back in 2019 and at the start of 2020, we ran a series of Waste Way challenges for some of the local primary schools. We asked the children to weigh their family's food waste for a week. We then ran a workshop to look at the waste in more detail, learning more about avoidable food waste, which could have been eaten, and unavoidable waste, as well as the impact that food waste has on the environment. After these sessions, we challenged the class to weigh their waste for another week to see if they could make an improvement. We want to thank our runners-up in the Shiskin and Kilmari primary schools for taking part in the challenge and for making brilliant reductions in their household food waste. Our Wasteway champions, however, were the 2019-2020 Brodick Primary P5, 6 and 7 class. They reduced their food waste by over 50% in the second weigh-in week. Well done to all involved. Our next category is to thank those who've been involved in our workshops and events. This is our Food Champion category, and our nominees for this are Linda Taylor, Emma Jessup, Diana Turbot and Sue Ash. Thank you all for being part of our Savvy Food programme and for attending our workshops, film events and for your support of our food work. Our Food Champion Award goes to Diana Turbot, who's attended the most food events over the past couple of years, as well as being a dedicated founding member of the Shiskin Food Share. Diana's support for our food strand has been greatly appreciated and we've absolutely loved working together. Thank you, Diana. Our final category is for our Food Hero Award. We wanted to give a big shout out to our nominee in this category, Wallace Curry. Wallace was doing some volunteering for EcoSavvy and was a brilliant presence at our workshops, particularly our pumpkin carving workshop in year 1 of the project. He's gone on to set up a fantastic Facebook community, Royalty Kitchen, where he talks about all things food and farming. You should check it out. Wallace is an inspiration to all and we're very grateful for his support of our work here at EcoSavvy and the excellent work he does to engage people in the field to fork story. Keep up the fantastic work, Wallace. Now on to our winner of the Food Hero Award. This is none other than Lucy Eckert Dixon. Lucy has been an incredible champion of food literacy through her amazing teaching, her running of the high school food share and her support of our work. Without Lucy, many of our practical and some of our virtual workshops would never have been possible. She brings so much energy and enthusiasm to everything she does and she's an absolute delight to work with. Thank you so much for all that you do, Lucy. We're so grateful to you, so grateful to work with you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hi there, Emma here, Active Travel Coordinator at Arran EcoSavvy. I have loved being part of the Sustainable Island Life team. and feel privileged to have been part of such a driven and dynamic group within EcoSavvy, but also within our amazing Arran community who have been enthusiastic and engaged throughout. We have been really busy over at the Travel and Transport strand. In the last 2 years, we have set up an ongoing community e-bike project, developed and created Arran's first green travel map, hosted 3 big travel events, plus 2 cycling-focused EcoSavvy film screenings, as well as setting up a community lift share page. We have also recently established an island-wide e-bike charging network, as well as overseen the installation of 2 bike maintenance hubs in Lochranza and Lag. So overall, a busy and productive time. The response to the e-bike project has been especially phenomenal, and even in the darkest months of winter, those bikes were out and about, scooting smiling cyclists from one place to another. I feel really proud of everybody who participated in this project. Folks who hadn't been on bikes for years or thought that cycling just wasn't for them got on their bikes and cycled a whopping 17,557 miles over the past year and a half. 48 businesses and nearly 200 of you got involved. Everyone who rides a bike is a small part of a big change that is happening in our world, and you should all be really proud of yourself too. And on that note, I better give out some awards. So firstly, the most tenacious e-biker award goes to, drumroll, Miss Jeanette Head of Whiting Bay, who clocked up nearly 400 miles of cycling during a particularly bleak and stormy January last year. Jeanette, who works at the Memorial War Hospital in Lamlash, proves that there's no such thing as bad weather when you've got good waterproofs on. With her e-bike, she cycled more in that blustery January than she had done in the previous year, and has since went on to buy her own e-bike. Well done, Jeanette, you are an inspiration to us all. The next award goes to a fella I'm sure you've all seen cycling around the parish over the last year. The most miles cycled award goes to Simon Ross Gill, who has been participating as part of the Pioneer project and has cycled over 3,000 miles, which is just mind-blowing. Well done, Simon. Now, like everything, COVID stopped us in our tracks and forced us to adapt and reevaluate where we were needed. The e-bike project was quick to change tack and began using bikes to deliver prescriptions and just general goods to those who were shielding. To everybody volunteering for these roles, we want to give a big thank you. Your efforts were so vital and appreciated in those difficult months. Now, this next wee bit is about maps. The development of Arran's first green travel map was another thing to be reconsidered in the light of the ever-changing COVID situation. We had planned on public consultations around the island to get the community involved. After all, the map has always meant to be for residents by residents, so it took some head scratching to figure out how to engage folk through what was a very strange and turbulent time. Out of the head scratching, the Savvy travel draft map was born, and it proved vital to get a deeper understanding of the travel options on the island and eventually create the finished Arran Green travel map, which will be available in the next few weeks, which is very exciting. But to be honest, the draft map could never have been made without the support of the trustees, who are the foot soldiers of their local areas, physically getting out there and walking suggested routes and reporting back in detail. For the generosity of their time and enthusiasm for the project, I would love to award the Arran Green Map Champion Awards to Helen, Val, Esther and Elsa. Genuinely could not have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. My last award is an all-rounder. This man is a shining example of someone living the savvy traveller lifestyle. He is a great advocate for cycling and has helped advise and guide the map through the beginnings of its development. The all-round Savvy Traveller Award goes to Jared Tattersfield. Thank you so much, Jared. Jared, you've been brilliant. I'll round up by saying that through all these projects, I have been overwhelmed by the resident support. Communities make the difference, and we are so lucky to have such a strong and compassionate gaggle of humans clinging to this beautiful rock of ours. So thank you everyone, and get on your bikes.
Hi, my name's Ruth and I'm the Project Coordinator and Carbon Literacy Trainer here at EcoSavvy. The main event I'd like to talk about tonight is the Savvy Film Club. Way back last year we had a great series of events planned for the community here in Arran, with a few of them being film nights. When COVID struck and we went into lockdown, we realised that we could hold film events online and people could join in from the comfort of their couches. And so the Savvy Film Club was born. A year and a day ago, we had our first online film screening, and since then we've held a total of 36 film events covering a huge range of topics exploring different aspects of the environment and sustainable living. We've had films about carbon footprints, bees, soil, activism, climate justice, the sea, fishing, consumerism, shady internet practices to help you part with your cash, islands and tourism. There's been films about bikes, cars, vans, electric aeroplanes, food waste, local food systems, global food systems, the labour that goes into food production, fast fashion focused films, films about water usage, dams, wind turbines in Africa and energy efficient islands, to mention just a few. We've been amazed with the response, and although some of the topics have been challenging to talk or think about, it's been so good chatting to people or hearing about how the films have affected everybody. I'd like to say a big thanks to some of the other Arran groups and people who've been involved or that we've collaborated with on some of the nights, or people who've helped out with advice on some of the topics. These include Wallace Curry at Rural 2 Kitchen, Janice Small from Arran Bells, Margot from R&B Group, Andrew from R&B Products, Heather from the Corrie Film Club, Simon, Scott and Louise from the Pioneer Project, Jenny and all the team at Coast, Sheila and Cameron at Visit Arran. Apologies if I've missed anyone. We'd also like to thank the Voice for Arran and the Banner for helping us get word out about the film club and their publications, and generally just supporting us over the last few years. We've had so many people be involved with the film club, whether that be as collaborator, commenter or viewer. So this section of the night is not so much about an award, but more about saying a huge thank you to everybody out there who's been part of the film club. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank some of the people that came along to our first Carbon Literacy Training Day, which was way back in January of last year. Unfortunately, we've not been able to hold any more of these events, but they're essentially training sessions on how the science of climate change and how it affects us globally as well as on Arran and what we can do about it. So for this, I'd like to say a huge thanks to Rachel Gallagher, Diana Turbot, John Connell of Honest Coffins in Kildonan and Emma Jessup from Balmickle Glamping. That's me signing off now, but thanks again, and I look forward to seeing some of you in person in the not too distant future rather than behind a screen. Cheerio!